Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Potty Plant Entertainment. I know, it's been almost 2 weeks. I apologize. I have been super busy with work. I've been very concentrated on it. I've been working very hard. It's kind of frustrating. But I am back now to talk about Moonfall. Saw this movie a couple weeks ago. Let's go ahead and dive right into it. Moonfall is the newest disaster film from Roland Emmerich, and it is a bombastic good time. Let's talk about Moonfall. So, it stars Halle Berry, Patrick Wilson, and John Bradley. It was directed by Roland Emmerich, and it was produced by, there's a lot of names. Alistair Burlington, Spencer Cohn, Ute Emmerich, and in relation? I don't know. Karsten Lorenz, J.P. Pettinato, Gary Raskin, Marco Shepard, Carl Spori, and Viviana Vezani. Keep in mind, I had to write all those names down, so be grateful. I work hard for you. Anyways, so Moonfall tells the story of the moon is out of orbit, and it's coming to Earth. And when it reaches Earth's gravitational pull, it's going to break into a bunch of pieces, and it's all going to hail down on Earth, and it's going to be the end of life as we know it. All the tides are going to rise up and wash out humanity, because, you know, the moon controls the tides, and yeah. And there are astronauts that are going to go stop that. Okay, I'm refilming the rest of this outro because it got cut off, but I'm going to go ahead and give Moonfall a 70. Which I think is being very generous, considering that it's Moonfall. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to Potty Plant Entertainment for more. Hit the like button, leave me reviews, suggestions, and comments down below. Follow me on Instagram at Potty Plant Entertainment for channel updates, and much love. Roland Emmerich. I like him. I don't like him enough to go out and seek out his films. I've never seen a lot of his movies because I really don't want to. The Day After Tomorrow, the only reason I watched that is because my science teachers used to make me watch it in high school, and I just don't think it's a good movie. Science teachers only like it because it's about climate change, and they're like, look, climate change, science! But I just didn't care. I never really liked that movie that much. Independence Day, I've seen it once, and I need to rewatch it, but I didn't like it when I watched it, because it advertises Will Smith like he's the main character, and then he's barely in the movie. Like, I remember, like, the scene when the president's talking to an alien through the glass. I was just like, this should have been Will Smith, not the president character. And Will Smith doesn't show up until, like, over 20 minutes into the film. It's like, he doesn't do much. Like, so that was why I didn't like Independence Day. I need to revisit it. I do like the practical effects in Independence Day, though. But I think Roland Emmerich's best film is The Patriot. Some people say it's Independence Day. I think we can all definitely agree that this and Independence Day, which I got back here somewhere. Somewhere in the eyes. I don't know. I'm not going to look for it. But I'll put The Patriot up here. Because Roland Emmerich. Don't fall. Don't fall. We got scrappy, but it worked. Needless to say, Roland Emmerich is not a great director. He has made a few good movies, such as that one. I love them. I actually think that's a really good movie. But most of what he makes is just these obnoxious, not good disaster films. But Independence Day was different, though. And I understand why people like Independence Day. I would like it so much better if Will Smith had more screen time in it. But this is his newest disaster film, and it's not special in any way, except for the fact that it's so bombastic. This movie is one of the most over-the-top, ridiculous things I have ever seen before in my life. I mean, I was in utter shock watching this movie. I was the only one in the theater, because in case you don't know, this movie's bombing hard, because nobody asked for this $150 million production, but for some reason they made it, and it's bombing super hard. As I say here right now, it's made less than $40 million worldwide. So I was the only one in the theater, and I was sitting there laughing, and just like, oh my god. I think at some point I literally went, oh my gosh. It was such a ridiculous movie, and I could be as loud as I wanted to because I was the only one there. This movie is utter insanity. And it's not like Armageddon, where, yeah, it's insane, but it's got like a charm to it. This movie's just insane. And yet I still kind of enjoyed it. Take that as you will. Let's go ahead and get into my pros and cons here. I really don't have a lot of notes written for this. And by the way, we're going to get into spoilers because this does not need to be a spoiler-free review. It's Moonfall, not Spider-Man No Way Home. So, the special effects are really good. All the CGI in the movie is very clean and it looks amazing. The twist that the moon is like the superstructure built by like ancient humans, I kind of like it, but like I said, it's really ridiculous. The action in the movie is really good. It's really fun to watch. The destruction is also really good, and it's really fun to watch. And the pacing of the movie is excellent. This movie's like two and a half hours. I think it's 2 hours. And it doesn't feel like it at all. You don't feel that runtime at all, which is really good. And that's about all I can really say about the good things about Moonfall. Because it's Moonfall. I have a lot more to say, so let's get into it. So for one thing, Halle Berry's ex-husband in this movie is like one of the worst movie characters of all time. The guy who plays him is terrible in the movie. And at some point when they're going to nuke the moon, because the military always has to nuke something in movies, he's about to turn the key. And then he stops and he pulls out his gun on everyone. And they're like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "My ex-wife has never failed me before." When she's up there trying to stop the moon from falling. It makes no sense. And he's so terrible in the movie. That character just should have been removed. He's awful. The ideas in this movie, like I said, they're really, really ludicrous. I mean, it's just the most outright insane movie. There's no way there's going to be a movie that comes out this year that's going to be more insane than Moonfall. And we're already really early in the year, so I doubt it. I think this will be the ludicrous movie to beat for a while. I really do. Also, the Chrysler Building goes to Colorado. Those words just came out of my mouth. I wrote those words on a piece of paper, and I'm not the first person to do it either. The Chrysler Building goes to Colorado. Also, the ad placement in this movie is so obvious. It's one of the things I really hated about Captain America Civil War. The car ad placement in it is really bad. What else? Oh, okay. So they don't have any more rocket ships, right? So they're like, let's go get like one of the decommissioned space shuttles that's in the space museums, and we'll take that. Okay. Someone wrote that. Anyways. Yeah. I don't think that's how that works. Is it? Probably not. Also, NASA, like, gives up, like, super quick. Like, before they're, like, about to launch, like, something goes wrong with, like, one of the thrusters. And they're like, well, that's it then. Humanity's done. And I'm like, okay, well, nice to know that y'all care enough to try and save the human race. That's nice. Also, so after Patrick Wilson's character meets John Bradley's character, they go to sleep. They're in like this hotel and water starts flooding in because, you know, the tides are all screwed up. And they go upstairs and they go to sleep. Okay. The characters are pretty forgettable, all except for John Bradley's character. I did enjoy his character. He was like this this conspiracy theory guy who believed that the moon was a superstructure, and he actually discovered that the moon was out of orbit and was going to crash, but nobody believed him, even though he had all the math to prove it. I like that character. And then lastly, there's too much CGI in the movie. Like I said, one of the things I like about Independence Day is the practical effects. They actually built like a model White House and like blew it up for the movie. Like they did actual stuff. Now, granted, that was before CGI was at its peak, so they kind of had to. But it would have been nice to have some more practicality in the movie. Moonfall. Forgot to write my rating, so I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Moonfall. What can I say about Roland Emmerich's Moonfall? It is, if I can get this cap off, the year's most bombastic, ludicrous film. And like I said, I think it will be the bombastic, ludicrous film to beat for years to come. It's not a good movie. I don't know why this was made, but I enjoyed it, oddly enough.